Okay, so instead of posting screenshots, I figured I haven't done a breakdown, a video breakdown in a little while, so I figured I would do this. I'll start on the daily. Of course, this is US30. I'll just go through some of my higher time frame thesis. Of course, on the weekly, we do have a gap. A gap here, and we also have a lower gap that I don't have marked. Um, so I've been watching this gap. It was one of my targets when I got short uh, for the last couple of weeks. So you can see up here in this area we have the liquidity grab, and then we have a breakdown, and then we had a lot of consolidation there before we had a final liquidity grab and broke down and broke daily structure. Here we had a daily structure break, a retrace, a daily structure break, and we ended up having some good shorts in this leg, some good shorts in this leg. So we've been breaking down. Obviously, we finally hit this weekly gap last week, and so we do have a big daily demand here with a lot of imbalance beneath it here in this candle. Very impulsive candle. This is an impulsive move here in general with a lot of imbalance. So that's what we've been looking at on the daily, but of course also filling in that weekly gap, the weekly imbalance, fair value gap, if that's your lingo. All right, so when we break down to the 4-hour chart, what I've been watching was the reaction to this gap. All right, so we had a push lower, breaking this initial low, and then we had a break of this 4-hour structure. Now, it was not a candle closure break above, but it still was a break. Then we had a retracement back. It did not invalidate this low, and then we had a push higher that broke that 4-hour high. So we had a push, break, retrace, break. So we had a good double break structure on the 4-hour, and then we retrace back into this big 4-hour wick, and then we've been having a push higher. So I've been looking for longs, for the last several days here. All right, and so let's see. This was Monday. This candle right here was Monday, London. Monday, London. And so, I don't trade Monday, London. So when we drop down to the 30-minute, and so anyway, so this 4-hour wick broke this high right here. So this high was broke by this push lower, broke that high right there. Okay, so this was important to me. I did come in and I've got my fib just set on 50%. So that is the 50% point of that wick. So I did mark that off as the midpoint. As you can see, and I got a little sideways on Monday. Let's see, Monday. All right. So anyway, now I'm going to put my opens on there. So those of you that have been in the group for a while, you know that one of my setups on US30 is based around the 8:30 opening price, or 9:30 opening price, 8:30 my time. So I don't keep track of like last month's opens, but I do keep track of opens for a couple of weeks, or I do keep track of the open within big points. So when we were looking at the 4-hour chart, we did have this big push down last week, 2 weeks ago on the 9th of March, and so I have this Wednesday and Thursday opening price marked on these two charts. Although I am looking for price to come back up here and to retest all of these areas before heading lower. I mean, that's my overall thesis, is that we get a push push up into this zone, and then we go and make new lows. But back to where we were this morning on my setup during Asia. All right, so this was yesterday's opening price right here. We had a flush lower before getting a push higher. And so when I came to the chart yesterday, I mean, well, it was yesterday to me, last night, which is today's Asian session. This is what I saw. Well, I had a couple of things marked. I had this zone down here marked for possible entries down in this area, but then I was also watching price come down into this area. So last night, or during Asia, you have to excuse me for keep saying last night, price hit yesterday's open, and then it broke that high point, came back, did not invalidate the low. Okay. And it was here that I entered. It was actually on this push up that I entered at, and my as a matter of fact, I think when it broke this candle here, I entered, because I entered at 32,675. Say right there, I had set my stop loss at 65. Just to give it a little room, just in case it decided to give me trouble. So yeah, that was my entry, and as you can see, it's right there on Wednesday's open, and I targeted. Let's see if I can see my. There it is. And my target was this area up here. Really, that's where I wanted to see price go, was this previous Thursday open right here in this wick. It's not quite the halfway point of the wick. That will be there, which you can see now. I mean, this is live. Price has, and I actually took a short right at right around 8 a.m. New York time this morning, but I had my stop loss set a little too tight, and I got stopped out by 2 points. So, but it was only a 0.17% loss. So not a big deal, but I do think that we're going to get a good reaction here, probably back down into this area. So anyway, that was the trade. I think I closed it. I went to bed, so I set the trade, watched it last night. I'd gone to break even, and ended up waking up, and it was right here around it had already hit my target and was retracing a little bit when I woke up this morning, about, I don't know, 6 o'clock my time, which is, I guess 5 hours into London, I think. I went ahead and closed it out. I still have this area down here I'll look to get long from, and whether this is actually a, a spot where, you know, if I wasn't already up, then I would definitely be looking for an entry here. But I'm just, that's today's open. But you know, I'm feeling a little what's the word? Euphoric, right? So I'm just gonna stay away. But that is a good trade there. But I got short this morning. I just real quick go over the loss. And it actually didn't I mean, it kind of matched my plan because I had this. We had a break here, then we had a retrace into this supply, you know, kind of, and then we had a second break, and so I entered right here. Like right when it hit that spot again, I entered. My stop was at, I should have set, my stop was like right. Actually, my stop was at 25. I have a tendency to use those 0, 25, 50, 75 as stops. So yeah, we got down here. I did not. I mean, I moved my when I got down here, I moved my stop a little bit, but it would have gotten stopped out anyway. Once we broke structure here, I took a little bit off my stop. I moved it to right there. Of course, came and stopped me out. Snagged a little bit of liquidity there over this point, just not much, but it did break it a little bit. You know, kind of broke a rule there. I should have had my stop up, you know, at 30, honestly. With my entry here at 32,908, I don't, generally speaking, a 25-point stop loss is what I'm comfortable with. If I can get a smaller one, I will, but here I should have kept my stop loss above the structure. But not a big deal. I mean, it's a small loss. Again, I'm up for the day, so that was good for me. But just a quick recap there.